What's going on, fans? It's your favorite fitness trainer, Coach Joe. And today, we're going to go for a little walk. So, I wanted to tell you that I have been sponsored to do a contest. Things are going to be turning up. I always give it 100%, but this time I'm going hard. Today I'm going to be doing lats. So I just did legs. It was a pretty good workout. It was decent. Hit a lot of different machines and whatnot. And now I'm going for the upper body. I went to sleep. I got some food. Took some protein. Now I'm headed to the gym. Lats is usually something that it's hard to get a decent lat workout at a home gym, just because there's a lot of cues and things that machines help. So if you've noticed, this past year I've been posting articles on our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Total Health Power. And in these articles, the first one, I describe about how I spent 4 months of my life dedicated to a lat development phase, and it worked. They grew permanently, and I learned a lot too. More so, the reason I bring it up is that in this contest, they are judging on symmetry, which is probably one of the first things that they look for. And my sponsor said, don't worry about what anyone else thinks. You know your body, and do what you know works for you. So today in this workout, I've been upping my supplements like crazy. I wouldn't even recommend purchasing any of these unless you already have some lying around. But if you're just kind of like, just starting to get into exercise, or you don't necessarily need them. Like I said, I'm going in for a contest. Like, this is for money. This is for my career. This is what I do for a living. And you guys might be surprised to hear this, but I don't work a day job. Fitness and personal training has kept me afloat since I was 6 years old. That's when I started. And how it started was my dad would take me outside and he would race me. And he would keep telling me, he's like, come on, pour it on, pour it on, pour it on. And as a little kid, what it did was it really pushed me. It showed me how to strive for things. It showed me how to give it my all. It showed me how not to give up. And just at that age, 6 years old, so much was just burned into my brain. And I still do those same things 20 years later. The reason I brought up these supplements is because there's one I'm taking. I haven't taken it in a couple of years. It's called creatine hydrochloride. Now, there's two main types of creatine derivatives that are on the market today, and they are creatine hydrochloride, which is a more advanced formula, and its lesser compound, which is known as creatine monohydrate. I used to take monohydrate when I was like 17 years old. I was in high school, and it was like just starting to boom mass on the market. This was probably maybe around like 2008. And this was around the time when I first started doing fitness and personal training seriously for income. And what I learned about monohydrate was that some of these supplements can and will affect the heart. Some of them can even affect your brain. Creatine monohydrate made my muscles very inflated, so I wasn't as cut. There wasn't as much definition. It kind of like slowed me down a bit. I didn't really actually notice any strength gains. I actually kind of noticed the opposite. Like, I was pretty much weaker in my workouts. And I had no idea what it was doing to my heart. Probably not anything good. And I looked it up. I did some online research, and what I found was the longest study on it on humans was done for like 3 years, which is really not a long time at all. So I discontinued the use. Recently, when hydrochloride was released, this was, I don't know, when I first found out about it, it was probably maybe 5 years ago about. And I took it, and it was very similar to caffeine. So I mentioned before, I used to take sometimes like 600 to 900 mgs of caffeine on workout days, which was, pretty much like 4 or 5 days a week. And even on my off days, I would just guzzle it down. And I was speaking with my doctor, and he said, this is really messed up. Like, you're young enough that you don't need that, and you should have more than enough energy without it. So I advise you to stop taking it because you don't need it. And I said, okay. It took me a few months to adjust. Like, I don't know, at least 4 months to for my system to legitimately bounce back. And once it did, I felt way better. I felt I had more energy. My workouts were more focused. My brain was in it more. I had a stronger mind-muscle connection. So it was certainly worth the trade-off. Will I ever go back on caffeine? No. Absolutely not. After feeling this way, yeah, I like where I'm at now. So right now, I'm Lifetime Natural, and I'm taking hydrochloride, which is a supplement. So creatine can be found in red meats such as cow, but there's no possible way you can get enough. You can't eat enough cow to get what the supplement will give. I did notice this brand I'm using right now, it's Body Fortress, and I certainly feel it in my brain. When I take it, I feel like there's blinders on me, and I'm very in tune with the exercise, which it does feel unnatural. But for this contest, because there's so much on the line, I'm 100% in on it, financially and time invested, in a way obsessive. And this is just what I'm doing. So creatine, that's one of the supplements I'm taking. Bananas. In 2014, I had some heart complications. And the doctor prescribed me a banana a day for potassium and for my heart. Since doing so, I've eaten it pretty faithfully over the past years, and I do notice a difference. It helps. So a banana is a staple in my diet. I don't consider that a supplement because it's not chemically processed, but I do chart it. So in those chart blocks on the right hand side, see, so if we have like a little square like this sign, on the right hand side, remember how I said the middle is noon. So the top half measures the morning, the bottom half measures the evening. On the right hand column, you'll see symbols, keys, and those are all my supplements, and a banana is one of them. Other things I'm doing, water. You guys know I'm real big on my water intake. Those water containers, they kind of just like run their course pretty quick if you use them and you take them around everywhere. So I haven't gotten my hands on another gallon jug yet, but I'm taking, right now I'm taking a 64 ounce, and I'll try to get two of them in today. I'm about a quarter way through. Let's see, what else? Calcium. I'm allergic to chocolate, especially dark chocolate. Like every time I eat chocolate, I usually sneeze. And like my sinuses get all inflamed. I'm taking a calcium supplement that is chocolate, and it goes down pretty good, but this one doesn't seem to like really, I mean, it bothers me, but I'll take it anyways because I want the calcium. That's my thought pattern. I'm just trying to like overload a cocktail of supplements and take it for what it's worth. See what I can get my body to look like literally better than ever before. And you guys, if you're watching this, probably the reason why you're watching it is because you've seen like some photos of me throughout the years in like certain competitions and contests where I was just like totally jacked and shredded. And like some of these pictures, like my arms are freaking huge. There's this one where I was like flipping a tire for a boxing competition, and it was just incredible. Like I didn't even know I could do that. There's a lot of things I didn't know I could do. Multivitamin. I am a really big fan of one-a-day mens, especially for someone who's 40 and older, which I have enough clients who are of that age bracket to mention. And I've never had any client, including myself, have a reaction to Bayer one-a-day mens. It's good stuff. And what I like about it is they specify, so they have one-a-day men's, one-a-day women's. They have like 50 plus, 55 plus, 65, and it's just a great product. Once again, you don't need it, but the multivitamin, I would say, certainly weighs the most out of all the supplements. Another supplement, so the one that I'm taking right now, well, I haven't gotten it yet, but I will. It's kind of expensive. It's called Ultraman, and that's just the highest rated one on the market that money can buy. And basically, it comes in like a little package, and some of them come in strips. Like the brand Grenade makes one. But I've noticed Grenade products are a little bit harder to access. They're just harder to get your hands on. So this Ultraman, it comes with pre and probiotics, fish oil, which is vitamins A and E, or it might be A and D, I'm not even sure. So vitamin E, I used to take vitamin E for my heart, and I was very sensitive to it. But you have to understand, I've always been a hypersensitive person, and that's just who I am. Like, I was born that way. And my parents said, like, when I was a little kid, I could feel the seam in my socks, and like I can still feel it. But I think it's more of a good thing than a bad thing. But it certainly took me a long time to find my niche in fitness. It took me a long time to figure out that that's, you know, what I was meant to do with my life. So vitamin E, even though I'm sensitive to it, I'm gonna go back on it. And I'm gonna go back on it because that's what my trainer said they wanted me to do. I'm sure it has something to do with like moisturizing your skin. All right, another thing. Let's see. The doctor. I went to the doctor and I got my blood work done, and it came back flying colors. You know, everything's a-okay, 100%. Couldn't be better, pretty much. And I got a physical. I got like literally everything looked at from my entire health records, and they checked it. And I saw like a few different doctors, and it's all good. Certainly all good. After I go on the supplements for a while, maybe like, I don't know, 2 months, I'll go back to the doctor and just, you know, get the blood checked again. Make sure it's all good. Because there's supplements in it. And I don't take supplements like, I don't use the recommended use. I use my own use. So one of the supplements that I'm taking, it's called Emergency. You guys might have seen, I did like a product of the month on it one time on our Total Health page. And hear me out. I used to take 1 packet a day. And I haven't been sick since I was like a kid. So I know what I'm doing works. And a lot of people like seriously narc on it. And people make fun of me. But they've done that my whole life. So this one vitamin, it's called Emergency. It's like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. There's electrolytes in it, which is salt. That's all it is. There's a little bit of sugar, but I don't care because there's more good with bad than it. They just put that in there for the taste. And there's more too. So it has B vitamins. Now, from my understanding, B vitamins, you have to like take them. You got to take all of them for them to work. Like B6, B12, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds. So I've noticed this supplement works. It ups my energy levels. It makes me more acute, and I'm just like, I just feel like a little bit more energized when I take it versus when I don't take it. And also like just electrolytes. I've had a nutritionist put me on an electrolyte diet where they wanted, I was in like a weight gaining phase, and I hired them to do so, and they just like upped my salt intake pretty much, and it worked for what I wanted. And it wasn't necessarily unhealthy. Like some people, they think like, oh, I'm like an 80-year-old man and I have high cholesterol and then I eat a high sodium diet. That's not what's going on at all. I've made my body physically stronger, faster, and my performance stats are through the roof. Like if you guys have been following me, you'll notice I ran, all right, so this year alone, not even this year, this season, this running season. So for this summer, I never ran 5 miles without stopping. I never completed that. This year, that was the first achievement that I got. And then from there, the following week, I ran 10K, which is like, it was close to 7 miles. It was 6.6 miles. An actual 10K, I think, is like 6.2 or something. I don't know. It's irrelevant. And then the following week, I ran 10 miles without stopping. Like, I wouldn't be humanly able to do that if I didn't know what I was doing. Trust me, you don't get that far off of dumb luck. So, pretty much, I think that's all the supplements that I'm taking right now. I want to explain to you some of the exercises that I will be doing for this back day. And guys, you have to watch these videos as like a part 1, part 2, part 3, because it's kind of like costly, and it's actually like hard to find videographers that will do all the cuts and stuff for me. And like sometimes they move away, or just things run their course. So I know some of my videos are a little bit better than the other ones, but if you want to just extract this information, I'm giving it to you for free. This is years of research, and I don't mind. I'm currently in Niagara Falls, New York, and it's one of the wonders of the world, and it's a pretty awesome place. So this next section, I'm going to explain the exercises. The first thing is my warm-ups. I used to do cardio warm-ups in some of my older videos, even from last year, but I'm not doing that anymore, because pretty much, like, they told me they wanted me to gain some weight, and my trainers told me that. So that means all that cardio stuff and all that running, I'm putting that aside for a while, and I'm like strictly focusing on lifting the weights. I would say weightlifting is a very advanced sport. There's very narrow paths, meaning that there's like a very seldom right ways to do things, and there's at least a million ways to get hurt. And when I say hurt, I mean like you'll be out for months, and sometimes things are never even the same after. So investing in a personal trainer is not such a bad idea. I've had trainers in the past, and they cost money, but I've noticed one thing. It has to be the right trainer. Not all the trainers are the same, and they don't all specify in what you need. So you have to find someone that works with you, that you get along with, and it can't be for like a month. That's another thing. You have to think like longer term, like, I don't know, 6 months or a year or something like that, or at least like 4 months. That's usually what one of my phases goes for. So that being said, my warm-up, I'm probably going to do like some chin-ups, just like standard overhand grip, which is this way. I'm going to grab the bar this way and pull. And I always make sure my chin clears the bar. When I'm doing these chin-ups, I had someone tell me a few years ago, they said, go all the way down on your chin-ups. Like, don't worry about keeping the tension, just get the stretch. And I do that. I pause at the bottom, I pause at the top. And I love that method. It works for me very well for like my height and my proportions and like the length of my limbs and all that. I really feel that a lot. Today's workout, I'm not necessarily focusing on all the back. I'm focusing mostly on my lats, like the width of my back. So chin-ups, number 1. I'm going to do a few sets of them. I'm probably going to do at least like 3. Hopefully, I'll just do 3, maybe 5. I don't know. See, those are things that are kind of up in the air, and when I get into it, I'll feel it out. So there's something in your body called glycogen, and glycogen is basically the endurance of the muscle. And my lats they have a lot of power. They have a lot of strength. They're very powerful on my body, but their endurance is like, it's not good at all. So that's something I'm going to try to increase today. And I can already guarantee putting myself through this workout will do that. It always does. So yeah, I'll feel it out, see if I'm getting a good contraction. If I feel like a good squeeze when I'm doing the chin-ups in the areas that I want them to, like right under the armpit, then I might do like 1 or 2 more sets. I'll probably do at least a minimum of 3, I want to like really charge up the body, get the blood flowing in there, and it does. It'll go straight to the muscles. The next thing, there's an exercise, it's an isolation exercise, which I'll be trying to stay away from, but at least for this workout, I'm gonna want it. And this is an exercise one of my friends taught me, and it's interesting. You'll see me doing it. It's like I kind of bend my knees and I lean forward, like a little tilt, like just a little bit like that, and then I pull inward, and then there's like just a slight twist, like very minute. And that one works. It's done with cables. Oh, they got some like torch over there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so they got these cables, and that's why I said, like, it's hard to get a good lat workout at a home gym, just because, like, you gotta have the right kinds of machines sometimes. And home gyms don't have that. Like, a lot of even hotel gyms, they just have, like, because the people don't really know what to buy, which is fine. So I'll be doing that exercise, and that's going to be the focus of my workout. I'm going to try to like really just pull a lot of weight, get good stretches. There's something called like a shoulder pronation, which I'll explain, and I'll be doing that in this stretch, in this exercise. And the duration of this workout, it's got to be at least an hour. I will not accept anything less than an hour at this point. And the reason for that is because you got to put the time in. Like, you're already there. Just do the work, put the time in, keep pushing yourself, do as many reps, sets, exercises as you can, and just keep going. And that's what I do, and it's gotten me this far. My diet's been really good. I started taking in like dessert a little bit to get my weight up, but now I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna be on like no dessert for like 4 months straight. So instead of eating like a bowl of ice cream or something, or like a few candy bars, chocolate bars, which also like kind of hurts my teeth, what I'm gonna be doing, I'm just gonna eat, like, instead of having one sandwich and a chocolate bar, I'm just gonna eat 2 sandwiches. And then I know it's like, it's all clean stuff. Yeah, pretty much here. Just gotta cross the road. So, you guys might know something pretty cool about me. And that's that I'm an Eagle Scout. And something the scouts taught me, they said to walk on the left-hand side of the road, so that way you can see the traffic coming on. So that's what I do. If you're a city slicker, or if you're, I don't know, I've been to a lot of states where like they didn't even have sidewalks like how I'm walking on right now. Yeah, so you know what? Walking here it's gotten my blood flowing a little bit, so there's no way I'm gonna be stiff. The likelihood of me getting injured in this workout is pretty much close to 0. It's just not gonna happen. I know so much about myself and about the body that it's very safe. And I'm really happy that I'm going to be recording this workout for you guys, because I'm sure there's something you can learn about becoming healthier, about becoming stronger. And those things matter, because sometimes if you got to like rake or something and you're not used to exercise, then you're not going to be able to do the job, or it's going to be a lot harder than it needs to be. So exercise does serve a purpose. Another exercise I'll be doing today is called pullovers. And this is one that I always forget to do, but I'm going to do it today because I feel pullovers. I feel them. I don't feel the contraction in every exercise. Sometimes it's just like a movement, which is not what you want. You want to feel like a real good squeeze. Almost here. You can see it right there. Oh. It's got some snow here. Snow here in New York State. So like I said, warm up. And then I'm getting into it. There's two like hearty, meaty exercises. The warm up is my chin ups, standard overhand grip. From there, I'm getting into the exercises. The main exercises, this is a recap. The main exercises that I mentioned before, that I'll be doing and showing you how, are the isolated cable pull,